It's chores, definitely you can.
She's already had her turn to say that. And right, and tomorrow it's.
There is not, this is an old, Little League still on the same night.
The do's and the don'ts.
So all I need to do is figure a video on.
Yes, it was.
What about your mom?
Oh, I don't, great guy. The other one is just
Yeah, okay. This is like 10 years ago, when I couldn't use Patchogue Town Hall for Zoom calls and yoga. So I don't think you need that anymore.
There's no put down there. When, can you get a picture, please?
Yeah. Putnam's gonna long place. So I guess we're gonna get that anyway. Recycling maintenance, the house is recycling.
It's on like this one. And it's on
It feels like twice, that's why. That's so.
This is unique. That's why.
Oh, I wonder if we've been audio and video talking about
Because I forget everything.
people are gonna take that out of it.
Yeah, because there was an interesting thing that I know Glasgow's got their problems right
Lawn
now.
sprinkler.
So, I've been working on that, they're all set. No, the Glasgow sewer.
Oh, just to remind me to call every day and pop up. Oh.
So. Goes back to them.
Well, that was fun.
Oh, we do lock.
Right, Tina?
We change the lock to every season. Yeah.
Okay. I am going to call to order this Town of Griswold Board of Selectmen regular meeting on August 25th, 2026, 6 p.m. at the Griswold Town Hall. Number 1, call to order, roll call. Tina Falk, first Selectman. Wayne Malin, Selectman. Matt Danielick, Selectman. Lisa Wood, Executive Assistant. And number 2, Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 3, approval of minutes. We have August 10th, 2026 special meeting minutes, August 11th, 2026 regular meeting minutes, and August 12th, 2026 special meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion that we accept the August 10th, 2026 special meeting minutes, August 11th, 2026 regular meeting minutes, and August 12th, 2026 special meeting minutes.
So I can't remember if I was at the 12th or not. I'll second Wayne's approval. I definitely was at A and B.
You were here.
Okay, great. They all blur together.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the meeting minutes for August 10, 11, and 12. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Actually, he wasn't here
For the 12th,
What's I
right?
looking at?
on the 12th.
Okay, I looked at the
So he
11th.
just needs to abstain from the 12th.
Perfect.
Okay, so,
So I'll make another motion. I'll make a
Yes.
motion that we accept the August 10th special meeting minutes, the August 11th regular meeting minutes, the August 12th special meeting minutes with Matt Danielick abstaining for the August 12th meeting minutes because he was absent.
okay. I will second that. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll abstain.
Okay. Item number 4, presentation for recognition. Ryan Auburn, come on up. As we all know, Ryan has moved on to a new career path after all of these. Yeah. So after all these years,
Yeah, a couple of them.
yeah. So this is a Town of Griswold community citation. The Town of Griswold would like to recognize Ryan Auburn for his dedication to the Town of Griswold and its residents. Ryan has served more than 19 years as the Director of Parks and Recreation and Youth and Family Services. Ryan has always been genuinely dedicated to the interests and concerns of the community and has been driven to create a better environment for the youth of Griswold. He has strived and succeeded in growing and promoting available recreational activities for our residents. The Town of Griswold commends Ryan Auburn on his care and concern for the Town of Griswold and honors him as a vital resident of our community.
Thank you.
We present this community citation to Ryan Auburn in recognition of his desire and commitment to the betterment of our community, dated Griswold, Connecticut, this 25th day of August, 2026.
Thank you.
You're very
nice
welcome,
of you.
thank you.
Thanks, appreciate
And
it.
Ryan, I want you to think about this.
Yeah,
A lot of ups, a lot of downs.
yeah, amen.
But we would like to, you're gonna have to think about this, and talk with your wife. We would like to present you with a tree to plant in your yard.
Oh,
So
nice.
it'll be your Town of Griswold tree.
That means don't cut it down.
Yeah, I know. I tend to mow everything.
So I want you to talk with Jolene and
Thank you.
let me know.
Yeah.
And we will present you with a tree to plant in your yard in memory of everything
Oh,
you've been
that's
through.
really sweet,
Okay.
thank you. Can I get a tree?
Can you guys like a tree?
Sure, yeah, thank you.
Get a good picture. Yeah, hold it up, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Is it upside down? Is it right side up? You got it right side
I
up?
think we're good.
That was a good question.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's really sweet, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ryan.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
So Ryan, could you introduce your
Yeah.
new staff that's replacing you, please? So everybody in the
Yes, good
community-
idea.
So, as you know, Phil left a few months back. Rebecca took over for Phil, who, Rebecca hit the ground running really quick. From a carnival to professional wrestling, to rabbits at summer camp, to everything you can think of, we went through. And she's still here and she did amazing. And the kids love her. And then Mike, who's been here for 20 years, was actually a counselor when I was an intern before I got the job as director, when I was still in college. And he's been through every program we ever have done. He's added to all of them. So I can't be happier. So, and I got the dream team here, and Elizabeth Bentley will be supervisor at the youth center. She's been there for 30-something years. And also Ryan Palello took Mike's old supervisor spot, and he's starting as well. He's the director of summer camp. He actually has a extended position at the school. So he comes right after that. So we got quite the dream team. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, you left us with a good team, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you and welcome.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Item number 5, old business. Discussion and possible action on feral cat situation. I am going to table this and remove it from the agenda, future agendas, until we hear back from Norwich. Good night, everybody.
Hi, guys.
So I'd like to ask that we remove this from the agenda until further information comes through.
Sure. Make a motion to table and remove 5A, discussion and possible action on feral cat situation from future agendas until we have more information.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5B, discussion and possible action on inserting a minimum age in the peddlers, vendors, and hawkers ordinance.
Okay, so I gave you guys a copy. Did we hear back from the attorney? It was okay to go forward with that, I guess?
Have not heard anything back.
Okay. So I guess for now, we have to wait for the attorney to get back to us, and then we can add that to an item on our next public hearing.
All right. I'll motion to table 5B until our next regular meeting.
Okay, we have a motion. I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
5C, discussion and possible action on status of dog pound facility located on Colonel Brown Road. There were 2 phone calls that I made, and the first one was to Wagon Tails. That was a group that was potentially showing some interest in locating a facility there for adoptions and that type of canine project. I spoke with her today, and I think funding is going to be a problem, and she asked if there could be any funding within the town, at which point I said we're not prepared to do that right now, financially.
Could we run that by Mario and the grant writer, see if there's anything out there grant-wise?
We can, but she's going to start looking, so I'll put her in contact with the grant writer. The second part of that is that I did call Jim Rivers, who's the executive director at NECOG, to have a conversation with him about, did he see anything wrong with us preparing or wanting to remove the dog pound. NECOG has applied for money from the state, bond money, to build a new facility in Pomfret. And they are going to hear by the end of September. He believes through Hartford that that's favorable. That being the case, everything as far as NECOG would remain status quo, the way that it is now. We have a contract with them. However, if they do not get the bonding, that would change all of their future plans and how they would move forward with renewing a contract with our town and several other towns. So what he has asked is that we hold off on making a decision until they receive word on whether they receive the bond money. So I told him that we could do that. So I'm going to ask that we table this until we receive further information from NECOG on their bond application.
Do you want to do the same thing that you did with the Euro Cat thing, just remove it, table it, remove it until we hear back?
We can, yes, because it won't be until the end of September
Yeah,
anyway.
I would suggest we do that.
Okay.
So let's keep talking about it until we actually get some news.
No, you're right, you're right.
All right, so I'll make a motion to table the status of dog pound facility located on Colonel Brown Road until we hear more information from NECOG about funding and the expansion of the facility.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on item 5C. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on to new business. A, discussion and possible action on 25 tax refunds for a total of $6,902.57 as presented by Leona Sharkey, tax collector.
You want to do that one, Matt?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to approve the 25 tax refunds for a total of $6,902.57 as presented by Leona Sharkey, tax collector.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on item 6A. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 6B, discussion and possible action on social media issues.
I have none.
Matt?
I have nothing, but
Okay, I do.
it sounded like you did.
I just want to put out there that if residents in the town, if there is something that they have a concern about, or a complaint about, or a question, the best way to start is to call the selectman's office. Somebody will always answer your call, have a discussion. This way we can get the best answer to the resident, rather than going onto social media, putting their concern out there or their question out there, because you're not always going to get the proper response. So I'm recommending to the residents that any issues, concerns, questions, please call the Selectmen's office rather than put it out on social media. Okay, that's all I've got.
Okay,
Sounds good. Sound advice.
All right, 6D, discussion on possible action on request by the Senior Center Director,
skip
Ooh,
one.
Blake.
site, all right, yep, C.
That's okay. You can skip it.
Discussion and possible action on update of blight issues. That's Wayne.
Okay, so blight issues, we did a drive around a week ago. Actually, we visited a person, had a issue brought against them. I walked around with a blight officer. I think she sent a good letter out on a resolution to that. That's been resolved. Talked to the town planner about, we're probably gonna add a couple more properties. The one on the old wire and cable property, that's getting overgrown, that's becoming and it's been an eyesore for a long time, but now we gotta start making it tough for the property owner to actually do something about it.
Yeah.
Agree.
Wire wine's another one. I talked to the town planner about both of those. I talked to the light officer about both of those. So we need to get some of this, fixed and looking better than it is. And actually, wire wine's got a problem. It's one of the buildings up there, so it's got to get fixed.
They do,
And
they
be
do.
safe.
We've had some complaints.
As far as everything else, she has sent some letters out to our attorneys to get some notice of violations or some, get the legal rigmarole started. Some of these properties have been long-standing. And now we're gonna start getting some of those violations from our zoning enforcement officer, which is also the town planner, so. I saw a lot of emails today and yesterday that she's been working on that, so.
A lot of work, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Wayne.
Any questions for Wayne?
No, it feels like he's moving in the right direction on this
He
one.
is, he is.
It's a lot, especially when you're talking about what should be, commercial or industrial properties that are just sitting there wasting away.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see something actually get put on these properties that we can use,
Yeah, right?
get some tax revenue,
We're working on it,
yeah,
trying to.
right now you go. Delta D.
Delta D.
Has she started talking like that yet, your granddaughter?
Not to me. My granddaughter's in the Navy, she's learning all kind of words. Discussion and possible action on request by the Senior Center Director to apply for a Jewett City Savings Bank Charitable Foundation grant for activities. Lisa Martell could not be here tonight, so I told her that I would speak on her behalf. And she just simply wants our approval to apply for this foundation grant to supplement funding for in-house activities.
This is similar to what we discussed during budget time, correct?
Yes.
Because we're losing some of the previous grant money that went to fund those things, so now we're
Correct.
searching to fill that gap.
Yep.
Then I would motion that we approve for the application to go forward.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the Senior Center Director applying for the foundation grant from Jewett City Savings. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. E, discussion and possible action on request by the first selectman to apply for a Jewett City Savings Bank Charitable Foundation grant for pickleball courts. I called Jewett City Savings to ask if it was appropriate for us to apply for funding. The maximum grant is $5,000. So I would like to apply for the grant for the pickleball courts.
I'll make a motion that, take action, first selectman takes action, apply for the Jewett City Savings Bank Charitable Foundation grant for pickleball courts.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Wait, only if Wayne and I get to play the first game.
Deal. All right, F, discussion and possible action on possible creation of an ordinance regarding sightlines as requested by the Public Works Director. And you have in your packet, the email from, Todd Babbitt.
Yep.
you're going to explain exactly what this involves.
Yeah, so not that long ago, the state of Connecticut has determined that anywhere a municipal road meets a state road, the town is now responsible for those sightlines. Certain areas we're having a lot of trouble with the residents letting us trim or cut down vegetation. I have one now that the school bus can't see, and I'm kind of fighting with the people because they don't want their butterfly bush cut down, which I understand. But what I presented to you is kind of a template that was designed by UConn and a group of public works directors. It basically starts at the corner point of the intersection and goes 25 feet along each road and creates a triangle. And it prevents them from having plantings in that area that are over 3 feet tall. It also prevents tree limbs from hanging down in that sightline area between 3 feet and where you're gonna look up the road. I think the ultimate goal is to have the ordinance, but the second step of this is to try to get it into either planning or zoning or something like that. So if they develop a subdivision, they know that these are the rules. We need to start getting it out there because it's very problematic. I understand people planted things years ago and they did it for privacy, and now we want to go cut it down because you can't see. And if we own the sightline, we own the liability. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So, DOT seems to be kind of pushing a lot of this stuff to the municipal sector more and more. The street lights, now we're paying for the electricity for a lot of those, for the traffic lights rather. When they redo them, the meter goes in our name. So, it's more and more and more as we go along.
State's pushing on the towns, yeah.
I just think we need to start somewhere. The only thing I would ask is if we send this to the attorney for review, if there's any language we can put in there, if we have contact with the resident 2 or 3 times and they're adamant they don't want to cut, do we have any right to just go cut it?
Yeah.
As a liability for the town. And the second part of this is if we move forward, I will create a form that I'm gonna put on people's door. If we knock and they don't answer or they're not home, and we'll follow that up with mailing so they know they need to get a hold of us, or we can go further and take further action if we're allowed to.
So the next step is checking in with the attorneys to see, both if any of this language that's in, obviously what was written up needs to be adjusted, and what our power is to basically act on it if property owners are not compliant with, with the ordinance. So then I will motion that we take that next step and submit to town's attorney for review.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So I've added that to the vendors and hawkers follow-up, and then I will submit this to the town's attorney for review and comment.
So Todd, I got a question for you for this. So we still have the 10-foot easement from everybody's property, right?
No, not everywhere.
Not everywhere?
Subdivisions, depending on the subdivision, the right-of-way is either 40, 50, or 60 feet, depending on when it was put in. People's property, most of it's a stone walls.
Yeah.
So, we might have 3, 4 feet in places. I've got a situation on Route 12, one of the side roads approach the Plainfield line with a red maple. I knocked on the door 5 times, nobody wants to answer, but we've had almost 2 accidents there because the limbs are hanging so low, people can't see up the street. So that's why I want to do the form, and I want to do the mailing, so we can prove we notified them. If there's something that happens, maybe we can transfer the liability to them because they haven't acted, I don't know.
Right.
But I'm trying to get the liability off the town if people don't respond.
Okay,
Well, I'll tell you from a public safety perspective, that's the #1 priority. We can't have accidents. We gotta have clear view getting at all our intersections, so people can see they're safe to cross the road or turn on the road.
agree.
Well, especially if you're hearing it from the school bus company, right? Like, that's pretty basic right there. The school bus says, hey, this isn't safe, I can't see.
Yeah,
Cut it down.
it's important.
And I understand their point. For the littler school children, they go one way where they pick up the most kids on that side, they don't have to cross the road.
Yeah.
Because they considered going the other way, but it's not conducive for them to, you know, try to achieve that goal, the kid's not crossing the road.
Right.
So, I get that.
Okay. Anything else on
No,
that?
good on that.
Okay. Number 7, any other business that may properly come before the board? Do either of you have anything?
No.
Okay, I have 2 items, and the first one, and Todd, this is gonna be you, I would like to add on, I'd like a motion to add onto the agenda, a request for a, town fee exemption for, materials on a municipal building project. Lori, do you want to speak to it, or Todd? The two of you met today? Oh, well, we have to motion it onto the
I'll motion
agenda.
that onto the agenda.
Okay. We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second to add this onto the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Lori?
I can speak to it as much as I know. Todd knows more technical stuff than I do. However, the panel, with the verbiage, Jewett City Municipal Center, on our building is buckling out. And so we went out to bid to have that, taken down. There's, in back of it is like a styrofoam, all of that is gonna be taken out. Put up a sturdier back for it, and then place it back up. In the past, whenever we've had municipal projects or upgrades, or even like the firehouses and, you know, municipal projects, these fees have been waived, and we're just making that request that it be waived this time too.
These are permit fees, Lori?
Permit
Yeah,
fees,
okay.
correct.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we waive the permit fees on the repairs to the municipal building.
Yeah, I'll second. It just seems logical to me. Why would we take money from the town to cycle it back to the town to improve something on a town building? That's.
And that is for a town fee of $614. Right. Do you want to add that to your motion, just so that it's in there?
I will make a motion that we waive the $614
For the town permit fee.
for the town permit to repair the municipal building.
I will similarly amend my second to match Wayne's.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, you're welcome. I would also ask for a motion to add on to the agenda pickleball court location.
I'll motion that on.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to add this topic on. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we know that we want to move forward with a pickleball court, and we've been tossing around a couple of locations. The first location we thought perhaps would be here in the borough, up where the playground is going to be located, up on Hill Street. I've been hearing lately that in other towns, pickleball can be, it's loud. It's much louder. The balls are, I guess they're harder. I haven't played, but it's very loud. And there have been lots of complaints from the residents, and some of the towns are actually asking the pickleball players to go with a softer ball. So there are a lot of residents up there. And I thought perhaps a second location, and we had talked about this at one point, would be up in the field at Public Works. It's out of the way. It's not going to impact residents. There's plenty of room up there. In my opinion, I think it's the ideal location to locate the court.
You also have the fact that it's very easy to maintain when it's right in front of Public Works, right? Like there's that's a factor as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're correct. It's not a quiet game, really. Like,
No,
you know, it's not a tennis ball. Like, it's like a pop every time the ball.
it is, it's a pop.
So
Pop, pop, pop.
I do get that, and it certainly would reverberate up on Hill Street. So that does make sense to me. And on the other side of that, I think it's a positive thing for that side of town, where you have Breaking Bread and Doroma's and Big Dogs and a bunch of other businesses that are over there where if people are over there playing and they stop and have lunch, right? That's part of this whole thing that we're trying to do from a build up our businesses and our development kind of thing. I think that is a quality spot for it. As somebody who enjoys playing pickleball, I think it'd be worth the trip across to the town garage side to play,
Okay.
for sure.
Wayne, any comment?
No comment, talked about it before.
And then I'll go to the Public Works Director for your thoughts on locating it there.
I think it's fine, I think we should just have a group meeting up there on where we want to position it in that field. There's gonna be no lighting, so nobody will be playing at night. Which eliminates a lot of problems I think they could come about. So, I just think at some point, it'll be a fall project, we'll prep the pad, we'll get it paved, and kick in and do some of the other work.
Are we thinking about just one single court? Because there's plenty of space there where you could
I
do,
think the way we looked at it before was four.
that'd be awesome.
2 and 2.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes it a squarer design, which is easier for us.
Yeah, that's great.
That was my thought, but I mean, again, that's, I think.
No, I agree. I mean, if we're gonna do it,
Look at the whole
we need
thing.
to do it.
Well, and especially if we're gonna get some grant funding to help out, that's obviously a great thing. I think it's good anyway. I have a million people have asked me about it, and asked Ryan
About
about it.
pickleball,
About
that's been
pickleball.
a big request,
Are we thinking about fencing that in as well?
yes.
Perfect.
And
That's
I
awesome.
think that there may be some other donations that will come in that
Yeah.
will help with the project. In fact, I'm fairly certain that there will be some donations coming in, so.
I wonder then, do you double down and take the basketball equipment that we already have stored and put the basketball court there too, instead of eventually trying to do that at
Well, I mean, I think
the youth center?
it gets used a lot down here.
Yeah.
True.
So,
That's
I
true.
mean, I think phase 2 could be, we could add on to that.
Yeah.
Or maybe pave it big enough now, when we get the money for the equipment, if the youth center gets the money, we could buy the hoops and put them in.
Yeah.
We could make it big enough for a full court.
Yeah, because I know Ryan's had the hoops and the poles stored for a long time, so,
And you gotta remember, we used to have it in Glasgow, and we lost that.
yeah.
And there used to be people that would go to Glasgow and play basketball.
Well,
So,
you can get there on foot in town too. Go to the town garage, you have to drive.
True.
So the kids,
That's true.
I mean, you can put one out there if they get rides, but you can still do the one that we've got by the,
I think the main focus should be on restructuring the basketball court that we currently have down on Hill
yeah,
Street.
but I think
Well, making it a
if we're
proper
gonna
court,
pave,
yeah.
we pave it big enough, because the other thing is, the kids practice soccer there.
Yeah.
And you'll see the whole family, and not all the kids are playing soccer, so they could maybe go play basketball while the other ones are playing soccer. you
That's
know?
very true too.
That's true.
For what it's gonna cost when we're doing this, it's gonna,
Yeah.
to prep it and do it, because you can fence it at the same time, I mean, it's just, it makes sense.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Okay, anything else?
Nope.
All right, so, any motion?
Yeah, do we need to take any action on that? Do we,
Well, that's a project we're doing. I would say you probably bring that up to Mario and the grant writer also, see if there's anything after we can get more grant money for.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have to do 8-24 review with P and Z for that,
yeah,
pretty sure. So Mario will be able to tell you that.
all right. Well, so then I'll motion that we further expand our research on it, and bring it to the town planner, get some feedback, and potentially to P and Z as well, to get their input.
Second that?
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there any other business that may properly come before the board? Okay,
No. Good.
hearing none, we'll move on to number 8, public forum. Yes, Jim.
Jake Bonnie, 735 Oakville Road. In discussion about this triangle with the blind intersections. I'm certainly in favor of that, but there's a couple of issues that I think. Todd did mention the walls of 3 feet high and above, but you got a lot of signs on corners also that interferes with the visibility. And lastly, to me, it sounds like it's a taking of people's property.
Okay. I'm not familiar with what the laws are.
We should be able, I didn't hear what you said.
I think,
I said that there's a lot of signs on corners that obstruct, and the last thing I said is that it's a taking of the people's property.
I don't know that it's a taking of the property, but it's restricting the use of what they can do with it as far as vegetation. They're still gonna own it, but, you know, it's,
well, and I think, Jim, Todd's not saying they should just be able to go over with a chainsaw and cut down your bush. I think the thought process is, we're gonna go to your house, we're gonna say, hey, this came up as an issue, and give you as the property owner an opportunity to go trim it, or let Public Works trim it, or do whatever. There's like 4 or 5 steps before we're even saying that we should, even whether or not they even say, the attorneys even say we have the right to do something like that, right? So that's like, kind of like the last resort, but it's, what's the responsibility of the property owner if it is obstructing a public roadway, right? Like, there is some responsibility there, even just on a basic level, to maintain it in a way that's not, for example, making it challenging for a bus driver to.
Public safety.
For public safety.
I don't disagree with what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I still see it as a taking of the person's property. You minimize the use of the person's property.
Yeah, I mean, the bank does that too. If you don't, your responsibility when you have a mortgage is to pay the mortgage, right? And if you don't pay the mortgage, they take your property. So I guess you're right. At the end of the day, we are saying, if you're not going to help us maintain public safety, then we would like the right to take your property in the form of a tree or a bush or a shrub or whatever it might be, yeah. If you're not doing your duty as a member of the community to make sure that you're helping us maintain the safety of the roadways.
I'm saying it needs to be looked at.
Yeah, you're right.
There'll be a process, we'll get it in an ordinance, so that's what Todd's gonna be working on. We'll work through it, we'll support it. And we're both on public health and safety, so the big thing is, and we know there's blind spots. Sometimes you gotta stick the nose of your car out there, vehicle out there far enough to see, and there's, some people have been tagged just by doing that.
Yeah.
So we just gotta make sure people have clear view before they can turn on the roads, and safety first. We don't want anybody getting hurt. So we'll work with residents.
I think the number of sightline calls that have come into the selectman's office, concerns, that's probably right now the #1 concern that I've had from the residents, and it has a lot to do with the state has not been out mowing. And we've had Sheldon Road, we've had 201, it goes on and on and on. That's one of the #1 complaints, are people very concerned about the sightlines at intersections, so. Okay, any other public forum? Yes, sir.
Yes, I live on Oak Street.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, you need to state your name and address, please, for the record.
Myron Leon, 36 Oak Street.
Thank you.
I've only lived there for 7 years. My neighbor told me that was the first time that he's lived there in 40 years that asphalt was spread on Oak Street.
Okay.
In front of my house is a cone because there's 1.5 inches where there's a hole there from when they asphalted the road. So what are they gonna do about that? Is that hole gonna stay there forever? Or can they build it up? Because there's a cone sitting in the hole. Is that gonna be there forever?
now there's a, I'd have to look at it, but I believe there's a manhole cover there.
Yeah.
And that's gotta be cored and raised, and we're waiting for the contractor to do that.
Okay, just that.
So they'll drill around it, they pick it up, they build up underneath the frame of it, and then they set it back down, they'll pave around it.
Okay, because it's been, 5 or 6 months since it's been done.
Okay.
Thanks, Todd.
That's all I had.
Okay, no, thank you for bringing it forward. Any other public
It's nice
forum?
when we can solve one.
Yeah, I know. Yes, Cheryl.
Since you're not doing the pickleball courts.
Cheryl?
Oh, sorry, Cheryl Canola, 52 Down Lane, I knew that. You're not doing the pickleball courts at the skateboard park or whatever. Well, and was brought to our attention maybe a small pavilion for a farmer's market.
Well-
On Hill Street, I think you're gonna struggle with that. Where are people gonna park for your farmer's market? I think that's the struggle that we had when we talked about where we were gonna end up locating. I think it's an issue that Little League has. I know Ryan's talked about it, parking over there, and I don't know. And I think that's
Out in front of St. Mary's School.
a challenge.
Well, St. Mary's School is, God willing,
If it's so.
is not going to, it's not going to be vacant forever.
Yeah.
It's back on the market,
We're hopeful for that.
back on the market, the deal fell apart.
Again,
It's been a topic of discussion at the EDC meetings.
It went back on like August 21st or something.
Yeah, there has been some discussion recently about it, so. But I think visibility and Rich, is that one of the factors that you want considered for the farmer's market?
Gotta be visible, right? You know, flags and signs are one thing, but, you know, people see it, and then they come.
you're very popular.
I like where we are, and I like to go to the Saturday thing, because A, it's a better day, and then we don't have to worry about shuffling the schedule when the kids come in and out of school. And everybody we've done very well, I mean, we really have. But right now, like I told you earlier, we don't have a farmer. So, and it's tough to get a farmer this time of year for a farmer's market.
Yeah.
So anybody knows a farmer, please turn them on to us, we need one. Yeah, I think visibility is important.
Somewhere in the entirety of that conversation is like the ideal idea, right? Like I was in Ledyard this past week, and they have that big, beautiful pavilion paved where you can set up, rain or shine, anything that they want to do, they've got the space for it, right? It's covered, there's lots of parking down there.
Preston, same.
Yeah, same deal in Preston. I don't know what property we have really to do that with, that's like center of town, the way that those things are.
I've stated before that, you know, you go to Colchester, they got that big, huge green right in the middle of town. You go to Lebanon, they got that big, huge green right in the middle of town. We don't have that. I mean, you can never create it either. I mean, it's not like you can make one, but.
Well, whatever's gonna be left there at the skate park and all that, I don't think that's gonna be big enough.
I agree as well.
What about Veterans Park? Can't they use
I wasn't gonna bring that up, because somebody here isn't gonna like that idea.
Yeah, no, I think Veterans Park, I mean, my personal feeling is we need to leave Veterans Park alone. I think it's just the right size to provide for any of the activities that we
Traffic in
have.
and out would be difficult. It's not.
Yeah, and the parking also. And I saw a hand.
Yeah, Todd Babbitt, Public Works Director. Maybe we should look at that area between the gravel parking lot and the youth center and those neighboring houses. There's a piece of land there, then you would have that dirt lot full of parking, you'd have the youth center lot for parking. I don't know how many cars you normally get, but you've got a grassed area there. Maybe that's something we look at, you know, preparing and putting some kind of a pavilion there. It's not in Veterans Park, right? It's off to the side. I was gonna ask about that spot the other night, because I thought maybe the gravel area probably belonged to the house for parking for no people there, but it's part of the municipal parking. I created that for an off-street parking lot for winter. Yeah. So we can give people a place to get off the street and go parking ban. No, I get it. Yeah. But that grass area, if you wanted to do a covered pavilion, I mean, might be an opportunity.
Well, I will tell you, there was a grant opportunity out there, and I was talking with the grant writer about it, and it's for green space and promoting community activity within a green space. That may be the
There
ideal,
you go, number 3, write it down.
the ideal thing. Yeah, no,
That's true.
Keep that
No,
going.
because honestly, and I know I've said this before, Jim, sorry, but what you guys have built with that is awesome, and if we can expand that and make it bigger and better and more, I think that's only positive for the community as a whole, and I do think at some point that's gonna require us to invest a little bit and build a permanent space for it.
Not to mention the fact, if people wanna do things there, you know, they can pay a fee to utilize it for any kind of family events there, something like that, you know, so.
Yeah, like Lisbon does with the barn.
A lot of towns do it, Putnam does it, you know, so.
Like right now with the farmer's market is, small as it is, because it's growing, it does well. I mean, people aren't asking for anything more. You know, they're just happy to go there and get fresh vegetables and whatever else they decide to buy while they're there, and
Yeah, it's something we haven't had for a long time.
you know, I mean, it's, the vendors love it. I mean, they're constantly, somebody's selling out of something every week, so it's working well that way. You know, we need another farmer. That's unfortunate.
Okay,
We got it-
the
we got
word
into
is
it.
out, find a farmer.
We got
To
it.
all of you listening,
Sign
we
that
need
to
a
the grant
farmer.
writer too? No.
We got into it late, I understand that, you know, I mean, everybody's committed, but.
But I will tell you,
We're trying.
EDC did a wonderful job. They really did. You made it work. You made it happen, so thank you.
Hopefully, we're not done yet.
No, you're not.
No.
You're
We'll
not.
find another farmer.
Yeah.
We'll find a farmer. I told him earlier.
There's a possibility of one in Woodstock. We haven't, I don't think Kathy has spoken to him yet, but there might be a possibility. So if we can get like, you know, 4 Saturdays out of them or something, just to get it through the month of September.
Yeah.
And then regroup over the winter and start June, whenever they start, and come out a little different next time, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Okay, yes.
James Barney, 735 Hopeville Road. I can't quite picture the area in front of the Public Works thing, but is that a possibility to have the farmer's market up there also? Because you could have plenty of parking there.
Yeah.
And you get all the traffic on 138.
I think we talked about that, but.
We did, but, go ahead, Rich.
Again, 52 Dina Lane. Yes, I mean, that property has been an option. Our first farmer was like absolutely against it because of being out of the way, and visibility. So we never looked into it.
It's not out of the way.
It was an option.
All the traffic goes up and down that road, I'm telling you, hey, people, don't we see it? We see a lot
Yeah.
of traffic on that road.
Yeah, we
We're doing a food drive, a lot of traffic on that road, so.
Yeah.
I get it though, I understand it, we talked about that too, I understand the idea of visibility.
It's out of the way though, you know?
What about that big green space that is just sitting in front of the middle school that never gets used for anything, where they cut down all the rotted trees? Yeah,
Well, it does slope a little bit at
Does
some
it?
point, but that's where we were originally gonna go.
yeah, because I mean, that's a big grass area.
But does that
Parking.
impact the school issue again?
Well, I think the goal is to not have it during school hours anyway, right? Eventually, like the long-term goal for the future of
I
it.
mean, I went by the
permanence of it.
school today, school's not even back in yet, and the parking lot that we use was full.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Yeah, teachers and
That
and staff
campus
are
is
back, so-
active all the
That's why we
time.
were,
Yeah,
I mean, I've already submitted the paperwork for the rest of this season to Sean and Glenn and got it approved the other day, to do it on Saturday, you know, which is great, because you don't have that problem.
Well, I'll tell you, if you keep, the way I look at it, keep doing this farmer's market, you know, where it is, the word's gonna get out, and if we determine to move it,
Right.
where it's gonna go, and we put it out there, yeah, you build it, they will come. I've heard that one before, but they'll come.
And all we have is the public works property to expand and get bigger with. It's just a matter of, will they come?
well, I will tell you, Wayne, you know this, we do the, United Way food distribution up there
Oh, yeah.
every month.
Yeah.
Over 200 families we serve,
217 last week.
yeah. Yeah,
So they-
so,
And they put it out there, United Way puts it out there, and then they show up. You know,
Yeah.
So if you communicate it, put it out there, they'll show up.
That's free.
You know,
You know, you just put it out there, people are interested in farmer markets, and look at stuff, they'll show up.
I don't know how much of that green space grant money or other grant money is available, but there's that 2 acre, those 3 combined lots on the corner of Slater and Pleasant View that has been on the market for literally years. that is commercially zoned, that is a level space,
Located where?
corner of Slater Ave and Pleasant View Drive. It's
Slater Avenue and where?
it's not an ideal commercial lot because
Pleasant View.
right by the school.
And right on, it's right on the corner up by the school.
Yeah.
If you go up Pleasant View,
And what I've heard from
and
from
138.
developers, it's not ideal to build a business space, like a commercial business space, because parking would be challenging. But if all you needed was a pavilion and a gravel parking lot, 2 acres would be plenty of space, probably. Wonder if maybe that's something that we should do a little research on.
we've got a little bit of research to do, so.
Yeah,
And-
there's other things too. I mean, we gotta start looking at, are we gonna charge people to occupy spaces at the market? Because for now, we're still getting the portable toilet for free, but it's not gonna be free forever, so we gotta generate some money to pay for that. I'm sure he'll give us a really good deal, but I would not expect him to do it for free forever.
No, and it's not reasonable to ask them to forever either. I think that's fair.
Todd, what's the cost of porta potties?
I heard 130 a day. Rental?
Yeah,
I don't know what we're paying a month, we're on state bid.
I was told 130 a day, picked up and dropped off.
Yeah, no, we're doing a monthly rate, I'd have to look, I don't want to say a number, but we have them at Sheldon Road, we have them at Veterans Park at Little League.
Oh, yeah.
And I talked to Tina, a couple of years ago, we looked at buying our own and just having them serviced, because they keep tipping them over at the park, that way we could bolt them down to a concrete pad, and they can't tip them over. We can't bolt the rental ones down. So we gotta do a little cost analysis before next budget to see if it's feasible, what we're paying, and, you know, if it's a 2-year or 3-year thing, we can pay it off, might work.
Didn't know you could buy it.
If that's the case, then we have to move on.
yeah. Okay, any other public forum? Yes.
Dayview, 59 Leah Avenue. At your August 12th meeting, which I unfortunately missed, it is noted, there's a line in there that says, it was noted that they are waiting for the layout drawing for the water tank, which is contingent upon approval of the proposed subdivision. I thought that water tank property and everything was locked down solid and not waiting on a proposed subdivision. As far as I know, there's only one proposal in front of P&Z now, and that's for a language change. I would hate to see something like that screw up our infrastructure down 164 and have to come up with more money to complete it.
The story behind the water tank, it was originally, when it was located, it was improperly located on a property that was not approved by the property owner, the location of it. So we had to go through all of the engineering to relocate it to where the design is right now. We had applied, not we, but a prior administration had applied for a grant through the state DECD for the water tower, through a SIF grant, and it was approved. But that grant was submitted on behalf of Heritage River, okay? It did indicate in the grant application, when I went back and read it, that it would also serve for the infrastructure going forward on 164. Got a call from DECD one day because Heritage River backed out, at which point the state pulled our SIF funding. So we right now are in a holding pattern, working with DECD, and this is the importance of trying to get some of these projects approved in planning and zoning. State gave us what they called is an à la carte menu, so that we can earn back points, meaning dollars, toward the funding of the water tank. In other words, if you have a warehouse that's going to be located and approved, we will give you back X number of dollars toward the project and any other development that occurs on that 164 corridor. That's why we are encouraging and hopeful that these projects are going to be looked at a bit more favorably and approved. Because with pushing them off month after month after month, we're not getting anywhere with our SIF à la carte menu. So, as far as the water tower and its location, I think right now it's too early to talk about because we have to wait through things, get through planning and zoning. It all hinges on planning and zoning right now.
I think the location, everything's been decided.
It
right?
has.
It has.
Yeah.
It's just the
The
amount
design
of
and everything.
having the money to put it in.
Well, the
Correct.
location has been decided, but a lot of it right now is the access to the location, because depending on mini storage and the other project, it's gonna depend how we approach that water tower.
Yeah.
I mean, the mini storage is in limbo, that was our access.
Yeah.
And if we can go to the other side quicker, then that's what we need to do.
That's what we'd like to do, yeah.
I thought the mini storage was approved.
It was approved, but, there was a resident who, came forward with a lawsuit.
Nearby neighborhood.
Yeah, a nearby neighborhood, and it is now in the court system. As a matter of fact, I talked to the gentleman just the other day on the status of it, and, they're trying to work some details out, but yeah, that's what held that up. And I think that lawsuit, alleges that because I think the Wetlands Committee, they went through all of the wetlands approval, and it was all approved, everything was as it should be, and this particular resident maintains that he may know more than the wetlands approval, and I think that's what the lawsuit came forward on. So, yeah.
Last I talked to the planner, is waiting on the judge's decision, what he's gonna do with that.
Yeah.
So that's what we're waiting on, judge's decision.
I understand that. I mean, I know we have what P and Z calls their plan of conservation or whatever, their guidelines for their approval. And we have ordinances that are black and white.
Yeah.
And, I mean, to me, those are important to protect citizens. But it just seems like there's a lot that's being discussed in the background and kept from the citizens, because you hear certain things at different meetings. Like, I was surprised to hear that, oh, we got pipes stored at Public Works, which is great, it's better than leaving them on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But, you know, it's just like tidbit here, tidbit there.
Well, there are certain things, I mean, we can't relay everything, it's impossible. But I think the best way to get your information and your knowledge is to either attend the meetings or read the minutes of the meetings. I mean, you know, even the decision to store the pipes at Public Works, that really was a financial decision because we knew that the cost was going to go up. But, I mean, it's impossible to relay every tidbit too. But you're here, you're asking questions, and that's how the answers come out.
Yeah.
So it's the best way to do it. Like I said, questions, call the selectman's office.
In regards to the right-of-way question, we've got problems, not just with right-of-ways. You drive down some of the streets, like past some of the used car dealers, they have lots that are clearly marked where they're supposed to be parking. No, they got them parked on the grass, bumpers hanging over the curb. You know, that's not proper. And you drive around, they have ordinances, planning and zoning about storage sheds and getting permits for them. And nothing stored on top, very clear. You drive around, you see snow plows up on top, motors, crates, pallets of garbage. It's like, one, it doesn't meet OSHA standards, and it doesn't meet our standards.
Sounds like
What
a
is
job for
that
the
gonna
blight
fall
officer.
Has to fall under blight.
Yeah, and that's what Wayne is working on.
And
Yeah,
you're more than happy to fill out the form and hand it in. They're down in the planner's office.
Well-
Actually, it's a generic form for many other items, but that's where you
Yes,
start.
I understand, and my experience with their generic forms, when they send a letter out, you're automatically targeted, because your name is on it, filing the complaint.
We
So-
discussed that.
you know what Lori and I have decided? If somebody has a complaint and they're worried about retaliation, they write it out, either Lori signs it or I sign it. I don't care if my name's on it. I'm filing a complaint, fix it. Yeah. So we
I'll
don't leave
sign
it
it
up to
too.
the resident, yeah,
So,
Yeah.
you know,
we're happy to sign it, just so that the resident feels protected. So, any other public forum? Yes,
Cheryl Canal, 152 Diamond Lane. I just want to bring up the barn fire. Worked on hard, Wayne worked on, whoever. It was, I think it was a success, other than the weather, but.
yeah, I think
we
if the
should do
weather,
it every year.
we've had a lot of requests to bring it back again next year. It was nice.
It was.
It was very relaxing. It was,
Not a monthly thing.
oh, no.
I can supply the power.
But I do
the
think.
next one's gonna be right in front of Matt's house.
It already was.
No, closer, how's that? No.
Yeah,
No, but
yeah,
it was a nice event and with no issues.
I agree.
And
I agree.
it was-
If we plan to have one next year, we'll talk about it earlier, we can set it up earlier, we can try and get more vendors, we can try and get, you know,
This
more
was a trial,
pallets
a trial run.
and that kind of stuff. So it was something put together in about 3 weeks, something like that, so.
And if we get the pallets ahead of time, we can storm at Public Works and we'll let you know.
You can't burn pallets, not in the state of Connecticut, it's illegal.
Good thing we didn't do that.
Yeah, but the school does it.
No, can't burn processed wood at all. Our previous fire marshal educated me in depth on it.
Well, the fire marshal approved all this. Yeah, the fire marshal was there. Yeah.
It's interesting you bring that up.
No, it-
I got a bone to pick with him. He had to use lighter fluid with the propane torch.
I know nothing. All right.
Must not have been a Boy Scout.
Is there any other public forum?
I have, oh, I'm sorry.
No, not me.
Yes.
Lori Sorter, 67 Ashland Street. As part of the Planning and Zoning Commission, I would just, because we had, you know, kind of a generic discussion here about approvals and things, I would encourage residents that, to come to those meetings, because as you know, when there's a proposal before, it's usually the residents that it affects that will be at those meetings and, or public hearings. And so, I strongly suggest that anybody that has any opinion on it, whether it's pro-development or, not in my area of town, that they come, because when one facet of community comes, then it tends to sway opinions that way, because that's all you're hearing is either positive or negative. So I think it's very important to have a mix of people.
I agree. And the only thing I'm gonna say, I mean, at least in closing, is that the residents voted back in 2019 for the infrastructure on Route 164. And it was for development. And I would hope that we could look more favorably. We've got to get some movement going with the development, whether a warehouse will bring something more, but we've got to start with something. And it doesn't necessarily mean that a warehouse is going to mean smokestacks or anything else, but it's the beginning of, I mean, you look at, the money that would come in, it would create jobs. A warehouse is going to have inventory. That brings in tax revenue. And if we want to see our taxes go down, this is the only way to do it. And I would hope that we don't continue to continuously say no, no, no.
Especially when you don't even know what's being presented.
Exactly.
And that's the biggest thing going on right now, is the
Yeah.
text change. To allow developers to bring in, a drawing of, what they're gonna propose instead of all the site plans and all the details and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
And that would alleviate a lot of stress and confusion from the residents, because right now, they don't know what's going in.
so,
And I think, not that I want to drag this out any longer, but as we are on the precipice of, you guys can see cameras and microphones, this may very well be our last meeting here in this room with the OWL. I'm hopeful that our first meeting in September will be on the new system. We had a successful test run this week. But even as more and more people are able to start to really pay attention, because P&Z has signed up to be the first victim in getting trained in how to use the system, to ensure that they're able to stream all of their meetings to the town, which I think all of our boards and commissions should be doing, so that more people can be involved. It's one thing to receive that information, right? But if the only people that show up to the meeting are still the 10 people that live across the street from whatever is potentially being built, and they're the only ones that are actually in the room saying no, like, we still do need, I think Laura's point is well made, that we need diverse opinions and a wide variety of people from the town to come in and speak, because if it's only the same, listen, we're all here for most of the meetings, right? And if the board only made decisions based on the 10 people that showed up to these meetings, right, because you're the residents that are in the room, it's not necessarily gonna be representative of what's best for the whole town or what the whole town really genuinely wants. So more participation as we move forward with the infrastructure and with potential development, like, now's the time. If you've ever thought, I don't know really when I should go to a P&Z meeting, anytime now moving forward is the time to go to a P&Z meeting, or at least to pay attention to what's happening in them.
And if I may just jump in, and especially Lori sort of 67 Ashland, especially if you look at the agenda and there is a public hearing prior.
Yes.
okay. Any other public forum? Last call. Hearing and seeing none.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to
Second.
adjourn and a second to adjourn at 7:06. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody. Good conversation.